Since I missed August 15, I will be reading August 15 today from Hope for Today, Courage to Change in One Day at a Time in Al-Anon. August 15th is page 228 on all three books. So, on Hope for Today, the topic is fear. I'm going to be reading about fear. Fear is the energy that activates my character defects. Sometimes my shortcomings lie dormant, like a bumper car ride, with the electricity turned off, and I don't even notice them. When I'm afraid, however, my fear acts like a charge that causes the cars, my defects, to start moving. I spend my mental and physical energy running in circles, trying not to get bumped or run over. What triggers my fear in the first place? Trying to control things over which I have no power is always one reliable switch. How do I disengage it? Using the Serenity Prayer helps me calm down. I make a list with one column titled Can Change and another titled Can't Change. Then I break the problem down into elements and put each into the appropriate column. When I'm done, I ask my higher power to redirect my energy toward those elements I can change. Leaving the present and worrying about the future is another trigger. When I feel like my mind is ahead of my body, it helps to refocus on my body, and my mind often follows. I remind myself to let go and let God handle the things in my can't change column. I focus on what I'm doing at the present moment. I'm washing my hair. I'm cooking dinner. I'm driving my car. It might feel silly, but I'm willing to do what I can to bring myself back to the present moment. Such action sets the tone for a more serene and grounded day. Thought for the day. My fear is a natural human emotion, for which there are many triggers. Al-Anon tools help me sort out and turn off the source for each one of them. My fears about alcoholism can keep me thinking in circles. The program helps me break their hold on my mind. And that is the reading from Hope for Today on fear. I really like the idea of writing two columns. One is can change, another one can't change. It says here, I break the problem down into elements and put each into the appropriate column. And says also, I remind myself to let go and let God handle the things in my can't change column. This is a really good idea. I think I'm definitely gonna do that. It's a really good tool for the inventory, the 4-step inventory as well. Alright, moving on to Courage to Change, August 15, page 228. After living in the chaos of an alcoholic relationship, it can be hard to know the difference between a minor inconvenience and a major crisis. Al-Anon's slogan, "How important is it?" helps many of us to regain some sense of proportion. When plans fall through, when unexpected bills arrive, when I am disappointed in someone's response, I can ask myself, how important is it? Most of the time I find that what I might have viewed as a disaster is really insignificant. If I try to keep my attention on this day instead of worrying about possible future consequences, I can take my disappointment or irritation at face value and refuse to dramatize it. Excuse me. Because of the simple slogan, many days that I would once have seen as tragic are now filled with serenity and confidence. Today's reminder. Today, if I encounter an upsetting situation, I will ask myself, how important is it, before I react? I may find that it is not important enough to sacrifice my serenity. Quote, "It is almost as important to know what is not serious as to know what is." By John Kenneth Galbraith. Wow. I really like this reading about chaos. If I try to keep my attention on this day instead of worrying about possible future consequences, I can take my disappointment or irritation at face value and refuse to dramatize it. So that word. Um, so yeah, this entry reminds me of that picture where it's like a meme, how it points out how small Earth is compared to outer space, and you're like, and then there's a arrow that says, "You are here." Certain days, life can get so stressful, overwhelming, and confusing that this inner battle, so many warriors have fought this inner battle, and some people, they end up ending their lives over it. And going to Al-Anon, it really helps put things into perspective. The things that can make people feel small. Sometimes there's certain readings that reminds me that some things really are not so much of a big deal as I make them often. And that knowing that and reading this, it just gives me a little bit more peace and serenity. So moving on to One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, August 15th, page 228. Each of us has, as a person, an enormous potential. Many of our frustrations come from not making the most of ourselves and getting out of life what it has to give, ready and waiting for us to accept. Although we come into Al-Anon to deal with a specific problem, we do not always realize that developing ourselves could be the answer, not only to the problem of living with alcoholism, but to others as well. The solutions rest with me. With the help of my higher power, I can adorn my life with comfort, serenity, and enjoyment. It does not depend on any other person. And the sooner I accept this fact, the sooner I will be able to face myself realistically. Today's reminder: people can affect me only as I allow them to. I need not be influenced by others, for I am free to consult my own wishes and standards and decide what is best for me. I find I can realize my own strength and confidence by working faithfully with the Al-Anon program and using it in my daily life. Quote, "The only real answer to frustration is to concern myself with the drawing forth of what is uniquely me. This gives me the impulse and the courage to act constructively on the outside world." Wow, this entry really blows my mind. I like that what it says on here. Although we come into Al-Anon to deal with a specific problem, we do not always realize that developing ourselves could be the answer. Not only to the problem of living with alcoholism, but to others as well. So yes, with the help of my higher power, I can adorn my life with comfort, serenity, and enjoyment. It does not depend on any other person or circumstances or principle. It does not depend on politics or religion or anything like that. It does not depend on approval or on obsession or on standards. I can adorn my life with comfort, serenity, and enjoyment outside of those things. And the sooner I accept this fact, the sooner I will be able to face myself realistically. The only real answer to frustration is to concern myself with the drawing forth of what is uniquely me. This gives me the impulse and the courage to act constructively on the outside world. So this whole entry from One Day at a Time, I've worked the steps a couple times, and what I'm getting from it is boundaries, my personal boundaries, taking into consideration self-worth and maturity, how I react to the world around me, and my relationship with myself. Basically, staying in my own lane and taking inventory and basically dusting off my side of the road, my side of the sidewalk, and taking responsibility. Taking personal responsibility for my own happiness. And self-soothing when things around me doesn't seem to go well. I think self-soothing is a tool of maturity, especially in relationships like marriage and friendships and family, because oftentimes those people that are closest to us tend to hurt us the most. And self-soothing, just like getting away and just spending time to myself or coloring or distracting myself for a little while, it tends to help and even strengthen relationships, because now other people feel a lot more secure, because I feel a lot more secure in who I am, and I can self-soothe, and that, I think, is a healthy way of dealing with difficulties and challenges in life. The art of self-soothing. Not many people can do that. Some people go to drugs, alcohol, a lot of different obsessions, just like food, materialism, just a whole slew of things, and for self-soothing. But I think self-soothing in a healthy way is really what is also taught in the program of the 12 steps. Anyway, so those are my comments to those readings, and I hope you enjoyed the reading from August 15. If you like my readings, please subscribe and follow me. I try to do this every day, but if I miss a few days, whenever I get the chance, I record it. So thank you, and make sure you go to meetings. Keep going to meetings, get a sponsor. Again, this program is anonymous, and there's always experience, strength, and hope out there if you find it, and if your heart is eager, and if you have a ready heart. Alright, God bless. Bye.